Step into a medieval hall or cathedral, and you might marvel at a roof that has stood for centuries. Massive timber beams, intricate joints, and angled rafters all combine to form a structure that has withstood wind, snow, and rain for hundreds of years. Yet, if you look at many modern roofs, even new ones, you'll notice they often fail far sooner, even with advanced materials and engineered wood. The secret lies not in the timber itself, but in the framing techniques our ancestors mastered. Techniques modern builders often overlook. Subscribe to Echoes of Valor now, because understanding these medieval roof framing secrets can change the way you build, restore, or maintain timber structures. The first secret is timber selection and orientation. Medieval builders chose slow-grown, dense woods with tight grain patterns for their rafters and beams, often oak or pine, which could endure stress, moisture, and temperature fluctuations far better than many contemporary timbers. But they didn't just select strong wood, they oriented it strategically. Beams were placed so that the heartwood, the most stable and rot-resistant portion, faced the areas of highest load and exposure. Modern builders often use standardized lumber without considering grain orientation, leaving timber more vulnerable to warping, cracking, and rot. Today, carefully selecting and positioning timber can drastically increase roof longevity, especially in high-stress areas like ridge beams. Joinery was another area where medieval builders excelled. Rather than relying solely on nails or metal fasteners, they used complex joints such as mortise and tenon, scarf joints, and interlocking pegs. These connections allowed timber to move slightly with seasonal expansion and contraction without creating stress points that could crack or let water infiltrate. Modern methods often prioritize speed over flexibility, fixing timber rigidly with nails or screws that don't accommodate natural movement. By adopting or adapting flexible joinery techniques, even partially, builders can reduce the risk of micro-cracking and water damage. The geometry of the roof frame was designed with both load distribution and ventilation in mind. Medieval roofs often featured steep pitches, carefully calculated rafter spacing, and purlins that distributed the weight of snow and roofing materials evenly across the structure. The slope and spacing also allowed air to circulate, keeping timber dry and preventing condensation buildup. Many modern builders flatten the roof profile or place rafters too close or too far apart, creating points of stress or trapped moisture. Applying thoughtful spacing and slope principles today can replicate centuries of tested design and protect timber from rot and structural failure. Medieval builders also understood the importance of redundancy and layering in roof framing. Critical beams were supported by secondary rafters or braces, creating a network of interdependent elements. If one piece experienced stress or minor decay, the load would be shared among others, preventing catastrophic failure. Modern construction often relies on single beams carrying the full load, which means even minor timber weakness can lead to serious damage. Builders today can improve resilience by using strategically placed support braces or secondary rafters to mimic this distributed load approach. Ventilation and moisture management were integrated directly into the framing. Gaps between boards, open eaves, and ventilated ridge structures allowed air to move freely through the roof cavity, preventing moisture accumulation that could otherwise lead to rot. Instead of chemical sealants or synthetic barriers, medieval builders relied on passive airflow to protect timber naturally. Modern builders can learn from this by leaving small, intentional gaps, using ventilated battens, or ensuring continuous airflow from eaves to ridge, maintaining dry timber without relying solely on synthetic membranes. Even the way timber was maintained reflected sophisticated knowledge. Roofs were inspected seasonally, and damaged boards or compromised joints were repaired before problems escalated. Medieval communities understood that proactive maintenance preserved both structural integrity and the roof's protective function over decades. Today, scheduled inspections, especially of ridge beams, joint connections and ventilation pathways, can prevent small issues from turning into major structural problems. Applying these lessons today requires attention to detail. Start by selecting dense, stable timber and orienting it strategically within the frame. Use flexible joinery methods to allow for natural movement. Consider roof slope, rafter spacing, and layering to distribute loads evenly. Integrate passive ventilation directly into the frame and maintain a rigorous inspection routine. Even if modern materials are used, these time-tested principles can drastically extend roof life. If this guide has given you insight into why medieval roofs outlast modern ones and how you can apply these framing secrets today, subscribe to Echoes of Valor and share this video with fellow history enthusiasts, builders, or anyone passionate about long-lasting timber structures. Ancient builders left us knowledge that has survived centuries. By learning from it, we can create roofs that endure for generations.